Imagine waking up in a world where finding something sweet could mean surviving another winter, or starving to death. Millions of years ago, a single bite of ripe fruit or a drop of wild honey was one of nature's rarest rewards, and your ancestors evolved to crave it with every fiber of their being. That instinct never disappeared. It lives inside you today. But in a modern world overflowing with sugar, the same survival advantage has become a hidden trap. So why does your brain still chase sweetness as if your life depends on it? The answer begins long before the first human ever walked the earth. To uncover the answer, we have to travel back nearly 15 million years to a planet that looked nothing like today's Earth. Global temperatures began to fall, lush tropical forests shrank, and food became increasingly scarce. For our distant primate ancestors, every season became a brutal test of survival. Scientists believe this environmental crisis favored individuals who could turn sweet fruits into stored body fat more efficiently. That ability wasn't a flaw. It was a life-saving advantage. During the brief fruiting season, those ancestors who eagerly consumed every sugary berry they could find built enough energy reserves to survive months of hunger. Generation after generation, that powerful instinct was passed down until it eventually reached us. The remarkable part is that your body still behaves as if the next famine could begin tomorrow, even though most of us live surrounded by supermarkets and unlimited snacks. Evolution prepared us for scarcity, not abundance. If you're fascinated by how ancient evolution still controls your everyday life, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join us as we uncover the hidden stories buried inside human history. You might never look at a spoonful of sugar, or your own cravings, the same way again. But how do scientists know our ancestors truly depended on sweet foods? The answer isn't hidden in myths or ancient stories. It's locked inside fossilized teeth. In Egypt's famous Fayum Depression, researchers examined hundreds of fossil teeth belonging to primates that lived between 29 and 40 million years ago. Teeth are like biological time capsules. Unlike bones, they preserve an extraordinary record of what an animal ate throughout its life. What they discovered was surprising. Very few of these teeth showed the fractures expected from cracking hard nuts or seeds. Instead, many displayed wear patterns and dental decay consistent with a diet rich in soft, ripe fruits packed with natural sugars. That evidence challenges a common assumption. Our ancestors weren't constantly chewing tough roots or hunting large animals. For millions of years, sweet fruit was one of their most reliable and valuable energy sources. And here's the fascinating question. If nature spent millions of years teaching our brains that sweetness meant survival, is it any wonder we still struggle to resist desserts, candy, and sugary drinks today? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe our sweet tooth is driven more by evolution or by modern habits? If ripe fruit was nature's everyday reward, then honey was the ultimate prize. Imagine climbing a sheer cliff with nothing but woven vines beneath your feet, while thousands of angry bees swarm around your face. Ancient humans accepted that risk because what waited inside the hive was worth almost anything. Honey delivered an enormous dose of glucose, the brain's favorite fuel, at a time when every calorie could determine survival. Some anthropologists even argue that access to honey provided the extra energy needed to support the rapid expansion of the human brain. Cave paintings thousands of years old show people risking their lives to raid wild beehives, suggesting this wasn't an occasional treat but an important part of survival. But here's where the debate begins. Not every scientist agrees that honey played a decisive role in human brain evolution. Many researchers argue that meat, marrow, cooked food, or seafood supplied far more of the energy and nutrients responsible for our growing intelligence. Honey may have been valuable, they say, but not the driving force behind humanity's success. So who is right? Was sweetness one of the hidden engines of human evolution, or has its importance been exaggerated? The evidence is still being debated, and that's exactly what makes this question so fascinating. What do you think? Could honey have helped create the modern human mind, or do you believe meat deserves most of the credit? Share your opinion in the comments. This is one debate where even scientists don't completely agree. For millions of years, humans had to search for sweetness. Then everything changed. Around 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, people in New Guinea began cultivating the ancestor of modern sugarcane. At first, they simply chewed the stalks to extract the sweet juice. It was still a rare pleasure, limited by nature and the seasons. But the real revolution happened centuries later in ancient India. There, people discovered how to boil sugarcane juice until it formed tiny crystals, creating the world's first refined sugar. Suddenly, sweetness was no longer trapped inside fruit or fresh cane. It could be stored, traded, transported across continents, and eventually become one of the world's most valuable commodities. Without realizing it, humanity had transformed sugar from a scarce survival resource into an unlimited product. That single breakthrough would eventually reshape global trade, influence empires, and forever change the way billions of people eat. Yet our brains never evolved to handle this endless supply. They still react as though every spoonful might be the last chance to survive. If you're enjoying this journey through the hidden history of humanity, give this video a like. It helps more people discover these fascinating stories and lets us know you'd like to see more documentaries exploring the science behind everyday human behavior. What happened next is one of history's greatest ironies. The very substance that once helped our ancestors survive eventually became the fuel for one of the largest systems of human exploitation ever created. As European empires realized the enormous profits hidden inside sugarcane, vast plantations spread across the Caribbean and South America. The demand for cheap sugar exploded, and so did the demand for labor. Millions of enslaved Africans were forced to work under brutal conditions, while countless others later arrived as indentured laborers after slavery was abolished. Behind every spoonful of sugar sold in Europe, there was often a story of suffering that few people ever saw. Sugar didn't just change diets. It reshaped economies, powered empires, and altered the course of world history. Today, it's difficult to imagine that an ingredient sitting quietly on your kitchen table once influenced wars, trade routes, and the lives of millions of people across continents. Here's something we'd love to hear from you. Before watching this video, did you know sugar had such a dark and complicated history? Or did you think it was simply another everyday food? Share your thoughts in the comments. We read them all, and some of the best insights may even be featured in a future episode. For millions of years, sugar was a rare reward. Today, it's almost impossible to avoid. Walk through any supermarket, and you'll find added sugar hidden in breakfast cereals, bread, yogurt, sauces, soft drinks, and even foods that don't taste sweet at all. Our ancestors had to spend hours, or even risk their lives, to find a few grams of natural sugar. We can consume that amount in just a few seconds, and that's the real problem. Our brains are still running ancient software inside a completely modern world. Every sweet bite activates the same reward circuits that once encouraged survival, but now those signals are triggered over and over again, every single day. The instinct itself isn't broken. The environment has changed faster than evolution can keep up. This is why understanding our craving for sugar isn't about blaming ourselves. It's about recognizing that one of humanity's greatest survival adaptations is now being tested in ways it was never designed to handle. If this documentary changed the way you think about something as ordinary as sugar, consider subscribing for more stories where archaeology, evolution, and science reveal the hidden history behind everyday human life. And before you go, here's one final question. If you could erase one modern invention from history, refined sugar or soft drinks, which would you choose and why? We'd love to hear your answer in the comments.